So you can see here there's a bunch of houses over here that we want to be looking to get. Now, my burner can wait above the river, but you see, because he's sort of having to fly above it, his defense is only 20% over the lake, so I don't want to be caught out here. But that's okay to leave just for one turn. I'm going to move my saw into there and pick up rockwood. And you can see now I'm actually beginning to start sticking up a lot of houses. Houses are key in this game, really. You want to make sure that you pick up as many as you can without compromising your army too much. And 10. Now, while the troops are very expensive and very tough, the Northerners who I'm fighting, these guys are very, very, I guess, lots of them, and they're very cheap. So the idea is to sort of rush somebody with the Northerners. I don't know if anyone ever played Warhammer, but Warhammer 40,000 anyway, but the Imperial Guard, I guess, is the best comparison I can make, really. They're just lots and lots of troops that are all pretty naff by themselves, but there we go. So you can see now I've picked up 9 houses. I've kind of split these two, which isn't great. I want to be moving my troops back towards each other. If I go into a fight, I don't want to find myself isolated. Okay, now I didn't go for any gliders. Now gliders are really quick troops, and I could be over here by now with my gliders, but the problem with quick troops, as you probably would guess, is that they are quite weak. So I've sort of focused on my powerful troops at the moment, sacrificing a little bit of speed at the early game to sort of mean that I don't lose ground towards the end of it. Now you can see here that as I'm going across, the fog of war is breaking. My troops are showing more and more, and you can see basically as far as you can move. So troops that can move more can be used to scout more territory, so I guess that's sort of logical. Now I'm just sort of moving him. I want to be moving my troops back together. I don't want to separate them too much. You can see here that I'm going to be leaving my saw on the other side of that hill, so let's just bring my burner. Now you see an enemy unit is sighted. So you can see here there is an enemy wolf. It's the middle of the day. The Northerners are, as you could probably guess, all very chaotic, so they fight better at night. So whilst it's day, I'm going to be a little braver. Now wolf units, as you can see here, they are... I guess I should explain about the attack. So each attack has a type, so it'll either be melee, ranged, or magic, and the blade is the type of attack. I think there's 6 different types of attack. There's blade, crush, pierce as the 3 melee ones, and then there's fire, arcane, and cold, I think, is the magic-y ones. And depending on who you're attacking, it does different amounts. So you can see here the blade does actually more against my saurians, but not as much against my drakes. My drakes have got quite good natural armour. Now the 4-3, that essentially means that they'll do 4 damage 3 times, so 12 damage. But every time they attack, they will be attacking using my defensive bonus, do you see? So I've got 40%, so if he were to attack me with melee, he would use his 3 attacks at 4 damage, but they'd only have a 60% chance of hitting, because I've got 40% defense. Does that make sense? So the better defense you're in, the less likely their attacks are to hit you. Now, some attacks are sort of exempt to this, but that's sort of basically the gist of it. Also, if he were to attack me with his melee, I would get to counter with my melee. So do you see here, I've got 2 attacks of 10 strength. Now, you see it's green, it's daytime, so I've got a 25% bonus, and he's actually got a 25% penalty. So do you see, I could do up to 20 damage to him, and he could do up to 12 damage to me. And actually, this is actually a ranged troop, so that's the massive difference day and night can actually make on this game. Now, I've, as you can see here, my leader has just been there. If ever your leader dies, you can't resurrect anymore, you can't summon any more troops, so you never want to let that happen if possible. Now, Saw and Skirmishers, these are the melee troops. The Auras are magic-y and the Skirmishers are melee, but you can see here, 4-4 damage compared to, say, the Clasher, which is like 6-4 damage, and much less health. The Saurons are very, very weak. I don't particularly like them, so we're not going to bother about those just yet. So we've got 49 gold. You can see here, let's buy 1 glider. This guy can very quickly make his way to whatever battlefield he needs to. He's a very, very mobile troop. Another fighter. These guys are the close combat ones, more manoeuvrable than the Clasher. And you can see here I can afford another Augur. Augurs are good. Now, I will show you sort of how good they can be later. luckily. So the wolf, the computer is sort of just going around, also going from troop to troop. Now, you can see here is an orc archer. This is another one of the northern troops. These guys have a very strong ranged attack, but are very weak in defense. And they've actually got 2 ranged attacks. Just see down here. One is a piercing shot and one is a fire shot. So although the 6-3 appears to be better than a 7-2, if you've got, say, a troop made of wood, and they do exist, they're not going to be as good for you. Now, the trick in this game is you never want to let your troops die. That may seem really obvious, but it's better to keep a troop alive and try and level him up, and lose a few battles to win the war, essentially. Losing a troop is really, really bad in this game. So you don't want to charge your troops in unnecessarily. You can see here the Soren is going to have 60% defense in this forest, but it is nighttime is beginning to come, so I don't want to press too far, to be honest. So I'm going to just keep him in my territory, and I'm going to retreat. I'm going to let him come to me at the moment. My troops, you can see here just how far the glider can go. That's 8 troops. And actually you can see here as well, whenever you make a troop, they get given random attributes. So you can see this glider is intelligent, he takes less experience to level up, which is really good, and resilient, he gets a lot more health. They all have random perks. You can see here, so this guy is strong, so he's better in melee, which is pretty naff for a magic troop, but oh well, and resilient, more health, which is great for a magic troop. The burner is quick, he can move slightly further than normal, one tile further, but less health, unfortunately, and strong, he gets more damage, and that's really good. So, yeah, there you go. Look, a clasher that is strong and resilient is pretty much the best combination you can get, but they're all random ones, and you sort of, you can get all kinds of combinations. It's a very clever game like that. Very simple, but very clever. So my troops, again, are just going to make their way to the front line, and I expect, you see I've only got the 2 troops, so let's just let the turn finish. And I expect the Northerners are going to just start approaching from all the trees here. Here we go, right. So we're beginning to advance something. This is sort of halfway in the map. We've met each other. I want to keep an eye on the income. I don't want to be fighting with only, say, 12 houses out of the 37. It's important that I get as many as I can. But you can see at this point, okay, wolves aren't strong, but they're quick, and they can quickly surround you. So what I want to do is I want to move my troops sort of next to each other. And whilst he's in the middle of the plains there, do you see he's got 40% defense? I'm going to move my burner in, and I'm going to use, so when you, right, so this is attacking. I can move any tile next to him, and you can attack from any direction, if that makes sense. Now, a bit like in Civ, you have a zone of control, so you can see here the movement for the wolf. Even though he's got enough movement to walk all the way around here, he can't actually run past my fighter, my Drake fighter here, because in Nesham, because of the zone of control, you can only move in and then it takes all of your turn to move. So it's good to sort of, as you can see, like here, to sort of surround the troops so that they can't advance on my towns. Now, it's the middle of the night, so my drakes, you can see, are taking a 25% penalty, so I don't want to attack too much, but when I attack, you can see I can use either one of my burner's moves. So I can either attack with close combat, or with my fire breath. And you can see, if I use my ranged attack, the wolf doesn't have a ranged attack to fight me against. So actually, this is a 3 attack. So here we go, 5 damage, 4 times, and 60% chance of hitting. Let's see what happens. So, 1 hits, 1 misses, 2 hits, 3 hits out of 4. That's pretty good. So you can see here he's taken a big health hit. Now he's also got 1 experience. Do you see that? And this guy's got 1 experience as well. Now what that essentially means is that once you get to full experience, you level up, and that immediately heals you, and your troop becomes a lot better. Hopefully, I will be able to show you that. They get so much better. So I'm going to move my glider in behind. I'm going to leave my clasher here for this turn. Again, I want him to advance me. Whilst I've got the strong point at the house in the middle of the night, I don't want to press too far. You can see here that again, I don't want to leave these troops isolated. So I'm going to move this guy back, and I'm going to move my fighter. Here we go. So you can see there's another wolf here. I'm And again, I'm going to move all of my troops sort of together. Now you can see I've created a zone of control, so my weaker aura can't be hit now. But my fighter is going to take the damage. It's good. I'm going to leave everyone here, I think. That's a good place. I've got 54 gold now. And you can see I can actually support another 6 troops with that maintenance. So let's take a look and see what we can get. Recruit. Right, burners are the best. They are my best troops by far. I mean, the 6-4 fire attack ranged is so good. Ranged attacks tend to be very good. So I'm just going to buy 2 more of those. Just check my troops. My leader, no, he's staying there. He's staying there. He's staying there. He's staying there. Cool, right. End the turn. Let's see what happens. So the wolf retreated to the mountains. You see, look, even these wolves have very quickly double-teamed me there. And this is what I mean. You've got to be very careful about fighting in the middle of the night. I really don't want to put too many fights. So look, you can see there, all 3 attacks hit me for 8 damage each. Oof. Oh, he's dead. Wow. I didn't expect him to be able to kill my fighter in one go. That is something. But that's fine. That's fine. It's the middle of the night. I just want to hold my ground. I'm not pressing. Okay. Now, you can see here between the 2 troops. Now, you get 1 experience for every level of the opponent that you're fighting. So all of these troops are level 1 troops, so they all get 1 experience from fighting. You can see here, the Orcish Archer has 1 experience. Now, the Wolf Rider has 8. If you kill somebody, you get 8 experience for every level they've got. So you kill a level 2 troop and you get 16 experience. It can be very, very good.